Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jadwiga and I welcome you to a new fairy tale. And it's called Money Can Do Everything. This story comes from Italy, and once upon a time there was a very rich man coming to the capital, and he decided to build a palace, his own palace in that city, right in front of the castle of the king. Now, once it was finished, the rich man's palace was much bigger and had more precious details than the king's castle. And on top of that palace, he wrote the letters, "Money can do everything." Now the king came out of his castle, looked at this, and wrote these letters, money can do everything. And he called that rich man and said, "What did you mean by that?" Ooh, the rich man thought, that was a bit too much. I shouldn't have done that. And he says, "Oh, excuse me, king, I can't delete that. I can simply delete that." "No, no, no," said the king. "I don't want you to delete that. I just want to know what you mean with that." "Oh, it's no problem. I will delete it. I will delete the whole palace. It's no problem. I shall." "No, no," said the king, "I don't want you to do that. Simply explain, what do you mean? Money can do everything. What does it mean? Do you mean you could kill me just with your money? You would find somebody to kill me?" Oh, now the rich man felt he was in real troubles. And again he said, "Oh, I will delete the whole palace. Don't care about it. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. I will." "No," said the king. "I make you a proposal. If you succeed to talk to my daughter within 3 days, you might marry her if you like her. But if you don't, I will just cut off your head." And with these words, the king went back into his castle. But the rich man, he had a real problem, because the princess lived in a castle that was surrounded by high walls, and there were 100 guides around that took care that nobody could get in or out without allowance. So how should he manage to talk to the princess? He thought and thought, and he couldn't find any solution. He couldn't eat, he couldn't drink, he couldn't sleep, and he became pale and meager until on the night of the second day, his wet mother came and said, "What's the matter with you? How do you look like?" And he told her what had happened and that he was just going to make his testimony. "Oh," said the wet nurse, "you won't give up, won't you? This is a shame. No, you shouldn't. Just let me do." And she went to a goldsmith and said, "I want you to make a silver goose big enough that a grown-up man can sit inside, and I want the bill to be movable, to be able to go up, open and shut. And I need that until tomorrow morning." "Tomorrow morning?" said the goldsmith. "This is impossible. Nobody could do that. This is simply impossible." But the woman took out a little bag with gold and said, "Well, this is the first of 3 that you will get once this goose is finished by tomorrow morning." And what do you think? Next morning, the miracle had happened. This So I'm not sure whether you got that interruption I had just a couple of minutes ago. I will continue. The goat, the goose was finished, and the wet nurse told the rich man to step into that goose with his fiddle. And she told him to play his fiddle while she pulled this goose behind her through the streets of the city. And of course, everyone stood and looked and was surprised. And how is it possible that this goose is playing, singing music? And of course, the princess in her castle, she heard of that too, and she wanted to go out and see this miracle. And she asked her father for allowance to leave the castle. But he said, no, 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 you may do that tomorrow. But today is still this is the third day when this rich man should be able to talk to you. So not tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow is okay. But the princess, she said, no, no, tomorrow is too late. She will be gone. And please, 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 dear father, please let me go. And so he said, well, I don't let you go, but the goat might come into the castle. And so the old woman pulled the goat behind her into the castle. And once they had reached the chamber of the princess, the rich man jumped out and said to the princess, oh, please, please don't be afraid. I'm just this man who will be cut off his head tomorrow if I'm not able to talk to you. So please, please, just talk to me. And the princess laughed, and they had a nice little chat because she was very amused about this trick of this man. And next morning, when the king was convinced that he would now cut off the head of this rich man, he asked him, now, did you talk to my daughter? And the rich man said, ask her. And when the king called his daughter, she told her father that they had had a nice chat. Now the king was surprised. And you will be surprised when you hear what he did. He took his crown and put it upon the head of the rich man. And he said, you are much wiser than me, so you deserve that crown. And if you like, marry my daughter. Isn't that surprising? There are so many fairy tales with kings. Some of them are smart, others are stupid, but none of them gives his crown away. They might ask those smart people to become their advisor, but they never would pass over their crown to them. So this is really a very wise king. Maybe he was just tired of his job. We don't know that, but I don't think so. I think he was really, really wise and generous. And he did not catch on his power and his job and his richdom and wealth and his social status and what on. No, he simply said, there is someone who can do better than me, and so he should. Now, when I look at our politicians, there are so many who show in so many ways that they don't deserve the position they have. They lie, they betray, they steal, they are corrupt, they do all kinds of, they break the right, they do all kinds of things, just like criminals. Yeah, many of them are criminals. But even if this is open up, even if everybody can read and see about that, there is no shame, there is no guilt. They just go on business as usual. They have the right to break the right just as they want. So I wish they would read and hear about this little story and maybe think about their own behavior. But I think this is a group of people, they don't think. They just want their power. And this is all they are interested in. Sorry, sad world, but maybe we're just moving on to a better world. Thank you for listening. Thank you for a thumb if you liked it. And goodbye, and hope to see you next time. Bye.